We will be starting the news in just a second. I'll just keep an eye on the channel. Right, it takes, like I said, a couple minutes for YouTube to let people know that I'm here. Hey, Tactical. I probably should have had this prepared, but I had a friend of mine talking to me while I was doing stuff, and so like I didn't was distracted. But anywho, how are you? Hey, memes. Not much. I am about to get the little show started. You got here before it started. Guys, so you never. What in the world? What a strange thing popped up in my chat. It says subscribe so you never miss the latest update. And I'm like, that's my channel then. Anywho, yeah. Let me get the green screen thing going. And we can discuss a little bit of the news going on. So, I hope everybody's feeling okay. It's nice to have you here. So, there we go. News from somewhere. Can't have news without cigarettes. I mean, you probably can, but anyway, I found quite a few news articles. I just decided to pick four because, you know, I don't want to bombard everybody too much. Hey, Trap, how are you? Super glad y'all could be here. Oh, Bone, hey, darling, how are you? I try to start doing this with the actual description, but everybody pretty much knows that every English show that supports always great. Anyways, I also told that like people have a hard time hearing me, so hopefully you can hear me. So anyway, love the shirt. I'm having a hard time figuring out what to wear because I don't really have a lot of clothes because I'm just not one of those people that really need a shit ton of clothes. I'm like, crap. What have I not worn recently? I'm doing good. I think I finally recovered from my 14-hour stream. Holy shit, 14 hours, Trap. Oh my god, are you okay? Wow. Hi, Ty. How are you? Super happy to see y'all. Hey, Draven. Mwah. I'm glad I held up on the news articles for a minute. But Rob Zombie concert. Twice in concert. Man, that sounds fun, but I'm not a people or a crowd person, so I would probably be kind of miserable. But it sounds like it would be fun for regular, like normal civilized people. So. Anywho, see if I can put this big like right here. I hate doing it sideways because the comments kind of disappear on the side, but I don't have a lot of options. So, yeah. Or at least nothing I've come up with. So, all right. So we're going to start our first article, and I found it very. It was weird. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying they weren't right for protecting their property, but this is a particularly strange flex that, like, I don't really know. Okay, being back in my neck is driving me nuts. Sorry. But the couple in St. Louis who were plastered all over the media back in June and July, who were, basically having a standoff in their yard with a bunch of protesters. Uh, Apparently, they took this picture and they decided to make it their Christmas card this year. That's a strange flag. So I'm sorry. That's it's kind of funny, but kind of in bad taste at the same time. So I don't know, but I was like, wow. So yeah, they picked it up from the Christmas cards being printed this week. So apparently people are like watching them where they go for them to even have a picture of this. So yeah, but apparently they're making Christmas cards out of it. I like that is the strangest flex I think I've seen in a long time. I'm not gonna lie. It's a very redneck Christmas. I can kind of feel that vibe, you know. Hey Queen, how are you doing? Mwah. But yeah, that's the name of Christmas card. You think like the outline would have like that digital framing of like Christmas decoration and stuff around the edges, you know, to give that Christmas feel. So I'm assuming that maybe that's what they did, and this is just like right there. I think that's just like an example of what it might look like. But I personally would have it like framed with like little wreaths and little Christmas ornaments. You know, give it a nice Christmas feel to it. But yeah, that's just weird. I think it's weird, but it's funny. Like I'm amused by it. Hey Wookie, how are you doing? Mwah! So yeah. Apparently her Christmas cards made of this. I thought that was funny. It's like it's weird taste. Like I don't know, but whatever. Maybe they're making the best of it. But I think it keeps trying to go out. Anyway, also in some odd news, a man's name who I cannot pronounce because I looked at the article and realized there's no way I can pronounce it. So you're just gonna have to go look it up and read the rest of the article yourself. Sorry. But apparently, an NYPD officer who has the rank of sergeant, I do believe. Ooh, we've got some spying and espionage, it looks like. Or alleged, anyway, because I'm not sure what evidence quite they have. But apparently he has been working in China. Hmm. Now, I'm not exactly sure what all a New York police officer is going to have for information that he's going to give to China that's going to be of any benefit that they can't spy and find out other ways. I don't know. But nonetheless, yeah, acting as an illegal agent with China. So yeah, 2020 has turned into a really strange movie. In fact, multiple movies in one. It really has. I like we've always joked or heard about spies and this and that, and well, we're literally living in like some kind of weird World War II reboot of some kind going on. Like there's spies, thought police type shit, you know, like serious divide. There's all kinds of crazy shit. Don't trust China. Well, I know, hun. I know they asshole. I know. But the point is, like everything seems to be just I don't know. This is a very intense year, and this isn't any the worst of it. The next story is actually going back to something somewhat humorous and stupid, and then the next part's going to be like, you know. But we've got people being accused of spies. Now, like I said, I don't know what they have as proof. I don't know. You think he was smart enough to cover his ass better? I don't know. But yeah, so we have an NYPD officer who's being charged with this. So wow. Um, so yeah, if he did it, I hope they get him. If he didn't, I hope they don't, because it sucks to be blamed for something you didn't do. And like I said, this is on Barbaric, I think, or I don't know how to pronounce that news thing, but Milo Yiannopoulos works with them, so if that helps you, and you'll know which article to find. Anyway, so man, my smoke looks so weird in the green screen. I didn't know that. Anyway, so something that absolutely pisses me off, and I hate admitting my shortcomings. I truly do. Although there's many of them, you could just little roll of paper just rolls across the floor as a long list. But like this past year, I have even applied to work at a grocery store and dazzled up my resume, and they weren't hiring. Blah blah blah. So this right here absolutely pisses me off beyond words. They have hired at Seattle's ex-pimp, as they called him, $150,000 to offer alternatives to policing. Okay, policing is policing. It's just about how you do it. You're still gatekeeping it some sort. So it's still some sort of policing. So it's not really an alternative. It's just a new way of doing stuff. So they're hiring this ex-woman's manager. I don't know if there's a more PC way of saying it. Anyway, they're basically hiring him as a think tank on what policing can be improved. $150,000. Let it just sink in for a minute. Damn, $150,000. He's getting paid as much as a politician, pretty much, at least for a short amount of time, or however long. I don't know if this is a lump sum or if this is for like a yearly thing. I don't know. But $150,000 to give better ideas on how to police. Isn't he? I think he is the same pimp that was policing Chop, was he not? Because I feel like he was. Hold on. I have to turn this sideways because, like, after a few seconds, the comments fade and I can't see. Hey, happy dinosaur. Super happy to see you. Yeah, he's gonna pimp out the PD. It looks like it. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not a fan of the police personally. As everyone knows that. But I'm sorry. I really feel like somebody else might be qualified. Like, well, I can see maybe him being on in a group with people who are doing it, because you need people from all walks of life and their opinions to maybe get a good grasp on things. You know, an ex-pimp, like a regular stay-at-home mom, a welder. I don't know, just like random, like different walks of life can maybe come together and think on a way that things can be improved. But paying an ex-pimp who was apparently very militarized and militant at the fucking Chop place to be the one that does your think tanking for this? I'm not sure how I feel. Hey, Mongo, how are you? Patrol cars are going to be riding low on spinners. That would actually be kind of cool. Okay, I'm not going to lie, that would be kind of neat. As long as they're fairly cheap, you don't want taxpayers paying too much for that. Although, apparently taxpayers are paid this. I mean, holy shit. So they're basically, what is it? An advisor. They basically hired him as an advisor. I don't see what he has to offer. I mean, he's kind of showed what he had to offer during that, part of the town was seized, like, back in the summer. So, like, is that an example of, like, how he's going to do things? Because it actually sounds like he would make the police worse. You know? Kind of weird. Not a good look for this. I'm just going to throw that out there. And, anywho, after I sort of tried to recover from this article, wow. Some of us can't even get a job at a grocery store, and this guy is getting paid by Seattle $150,000. Like, give me $150,000, and I can tell you some shit you can do to, like, make your police better and better behaved and the kind of training they probably need. In fact, like, I would suggest that every single police officer, right down to the fucking meter maids, take classes on hostage negotiations, for instance. You know, that way they know how to try to talk to someone to de-escalate a situation, try to prevent it from getting worse. You know, things like that. There you go, free piece of advice. There you go. Make sure all police officers take some sort of counseling, so if they have any kind of issues, they don't bring it out into the street and end up doing something that's going to be a huge mistake. You know, things like that in general. There's two pieces of advice they could have paid me $150,000 for. Oh. Anyway, so the last bit is quite upsetting. Now, this is something we've all talked about at some point, and probably for years. But to see it on a news article that basically says it without saying it, it looks like They are going to be using a type of program which we've kind of talked about before. I think we all have. Not on here necessarily, but talked about in general, like algorithms and this and that pick up on certain keywords and censor things. Well, now apparently, critics of Twitter and Facebook, even some of the people in the company, say a dramatic action is needed to counter the way the platform supercharges false and sometimes dangerous claims, which means, and we all know what this means, basically stuff that they consider dangerous, ideas and news that they don't approve will be censored. That's what they're saying. Because any time censorship has ever taken its hold, it was always used to claim that, oh, it's for the greater good, or, well, it's misinformation. So we're not feeding it to you, you don't get to eat it. And I had a bit of a hairball, sorry. And one of the things they were actually talking about in this article is they're talking about that some of the fires weren't caused by protesters. No, it's caused by arsonists that were hanging out in the protest crowd, most likely. But nonetheless, but they were claiming a lot of the stuff that was set on fire wasn't arson, or it wasn't done by protesters. Okay, we saw video footage of some of this actually happening, but I guess there's, why not ex-strippers, school teachers, drug dealers as doctors? Well, drug dealers as doctors, I don't know. Some kind of are. But the point is, this is something we've talked about happening for years. Shadow banning or this or that. I said something about China someone didn't like. I got banned off Twitter. Now they're going to try to make sure you don't have anything to share. Because they're saying that, like, for instance, us tweeting or posting about fires started in, riots and stuff like that could supercharge false information. That the wildfires weren't started by this or that. Okay. Well, what do you do when it's actual video footage of someone doing something? Are they going to say it's fake as well? Because it's enough they've been putting labels on things we post, say a fact checker this or that. That's one thing. But now they're actually going to do their best to make sure that those are removed from the platform altogether. So if you put up something they don't think is right, it's gone. Hey Elihu, how are you? Spontaneous human combustion. Hey Bee's Nest, how are you? Mwah. But yeah. So we've talked about it. We knew it was coming. And it had been coming, little bits by bits over the years. But now apparently they're going to double down. Okay, let me move aside. Yeah. So they're going to use a type of program. I wish I had actually taken a picture of that part of the article, so kind of sorry I didn't. But yeah, they're outright coming out and saying they're basically censoring. They're just not using the word censor. They want to protect you, protect us from ourselves, I guess, from false information. But they are the ones that get to decide if that's false or dangerous claims. And like here, it even says false and dangerous claims. So something you could say could be the truth, but it could be a dangerous truth. And they'll remove it. That is why right. So basically, we're going to have to count on ourselves to take video footage of things if we see it, take pictures, whatever. Video's better. And basically put that up like a lot of people have been doing. Sometimes even live streaming stuff. Because honestly, if anyone's going to take to the streets and start setting shit on fire, it should probably be us, the news station. Because they can't be trusted. They are part of that propaganda machine. They have been for a very long time, and now they're actually basically coming out and admitting it. They're not even having the decency to have the shame of hiding it or pretending it's not happening anymore. Now, I know I'll probably even have y'all raising an eyebrow in my direction, that I would even suggest that people would take to the streets and set shit on fire. But if it's going to happen, it should be for freedom of speech. It should be for, I don't know, teach news lesson, not to tell us what we can and cannot say, and to feed us lies like they've been doing for years. I mean, they can't even fact check themselves correctly. They contradict themselves, and then you get a fact checker for like reposting something they posted 6 months ago. I mean, come on, really? Citizen journalism unleashed. Yes memes. See, memes here, he likes to do some journalism here and there as well. He's a little left, more left leaning than me, just a little bit. Not extreme, but a little. But hey, I don't think he would ever straight look at the camera and lie to you. So it's okay to have slightly left or middle or slightly rightish leans, as long as at least what you're showing is the honest truth you've seen. You can give your opinion, absolutely. Remember, freedom of speech matters. You can like, in my opinion, I think, this might have been started in a different way, and I think you're spinning it, and here's why I think this. That's fair. But to tell people they can't post something because it might be a dangerous claim, well, unfortunately, as things progress, the truth becomes dangerous. It becomes dangerous for them, and it becomes even more dangerous for us. So, oh, my gun hurts more. Oh, I don't think they won't try. Because here's the thing with the news. Anytime someone decides it is their patriotic duty to defend themselves or do something, the media will spin them to be a bad guy. Thanks to Jesse and the Crow's Nest, I found out some stuff about the guy who was protecting his bar. They said he had committed suicide. Well, that's all I had heard. I had not heard anything else. But thanks to him and his channel and the people on there, a guy named Dooku, in fact, uh, in fact, the man was found dead outside of a clinic, and there was no suicide note. Who the hell kills himself outside of a clinic? But they ruled it a suicide. The guy apparently had shot a protester after he was put in a choke, like a headlock of some kind, and he had to shoot over his shoulder to get the guy. So he kind of shot him somewhere around this vicinity, I think, and it killed the guy. And they weren't going to press charges because the video showed he was defending himself. And then a DA decided they were going to press charges anyway. And apparently, all his friends and everyone that knew him abandoned him. And apparently, he was found dead outside of a clinic. Now, I don't know about you, but if I decided to kill myself, most likely I would be at home where oh, well, that's right, he got kicked out of his home. Find somewhere to stay, feel comfortable, and probably just overdose. I wouldn't probably kill myself outside of a clinic. That's just kind of weird. That sounds suspicious. The only reason the government would want to take away guns at 20 years is because they're going to do something we'd shoot them for. Yeah, and actually, they've been trying one way or another to take guns away for quite some time. It's just they're more blatant now than they used to be. They're put more restrictions. Well, you can't have this. Well, you can't have that. So it just narrows it and narrows it and narrows it. And so suddenly, that's all you've got. We left England for this very reason. Well, this and taxes, but we are now no better off really than England. We're holding on by a few letters in the Constitution. Barely holding on with that. 3 shots to the back of the head, suicide. Yeah, that sounds about how it goes. They didn't say where, like, what condition he was in. I don't recall them saying anything about him having shot himself, cut himself, poisoned himself. Like, there was no mention of that. But if you're going to kill yourself, why would you go to a clinic? Unless, of course, he was leaving and they decided not to help him and he gave up. But even so, like, like someone made a mention of it, and it's a good point. I wanted to know where's the camera footage for outside this clinic, like a street camera, something. Something had to see something. Where is it? I want to know. Because I think the guy was murdered. So, The guy was going to face 95 years in jail for killing somebody who was trying to kill him. So you're going to be punished for defending yourself. You're going to be punished for telling the truth. If there is any reason to go out there and start a riot, that is it right there. Because the way this is going, with the riots that we do have in the country, not like here in Oklahoma per se, but in general, is we are cheering for laws to be put in place to have these people thrown in jail. And it's understandable. There's not many other options. But we are asking and ushering in a new era where if you violently take to the street, and one day it will be time to do that, those laws will be sitting there waiting for us. So I don't have any good answers for anything. I don't. Because once you go against the government, you are an enemy of the state. You will be considered domestic terrorists. Just like we're considering our own countrymen. Even though they're doing stupid things and attacking like civilians in the street. Yes, that's fucking stupid. Do not get me wrong. But in some ways, and I know nobody's gonna want to hear this, in some ways they are doing stuff that we said we would do one day. If things went that way. But they are making such an absolute mess of it that we're like, no, we're not like that. No. Yeah, and yeah. So we're gonna find ourselves stuck in a spot where we're gonna be breaking the law. We're going to end up taking to the streets and possibly setting shit on fire. You may say not, but I don't see what else can be done. We're past signing petitions to make the news act right. We're basically signing petitions and sending it to the very people who are corrupt, asking them not to be corrupt anymore. Soon we're going to find out who's on our side and who isn't. On the side of civilians and the Constitution. There are some sheriffs that seem like they are. And there are some that are not. There are going to be some politicians that are, and some that are not. And the ones that are not definitely are making themselves known. Very, very clearly, they're making themselves known. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be better with Trump or not. I know it won't be better with Biden. I know that. But don't think that necessarily just because there's two sides, there's one side is good and one's bad. One could just be a different kind. So there is no good answer. I think we're safer with Trump. Yes. It may be just prolonging the inevitable that's coming anyway. Unfortunately. Nuke it from the sky. Only way to be sure. Yeah, nukes are a terrible idea. I think regular bunker busters are probably better, but nuclear stuff just fucks up the environment and makes the whole place uninhabitable. And like, yeah, I'm not fond one of that myself. Bone 2020. Why not? You know, heck yeah. You probably wouldn't do any worse. I'd vote for you. El Chapo 2020. Well, the man didn't know how to run a business. I'll give him that. He be in charge of the economy. But, so yeah, it's depressing news. But basically, any time a civilian population has stood up and rebelled, they broke the law doing it. So if there's ever going to be a change, if breaking the law can come easily to the people who are causing this, then we're going to have to get comfortable with the idea of it too. Because at some point, putting up news and sharing information or what they consider disinformation might end up landing you a charge and being illegal. Things we didn't think necessarily would ever become illegal will. So we're going to have to become comfortable with being lawbreakers, outlaws. It sounds fun, but it won't be. But if this country is ever going to get back to even close to what it should have been, or should be, it's going to take so much more than just argue with Twitter and argue with Facebook. Not quite sure what. Like I said, I don't have the answers. I just know we're in trouble. I mean, the First Amendment is one of the only things we still have left, and it's on the way out, apparently, quite clearly. It's It's troubling when they make it so obvious. They make it so clear. Let's see. Let me check the chat here. As a Canadian looking in, either the election is screwed either way. It is. Like I said, I think Trump's definitely a better pick. We weren't given a lot to choose from. Like I said, voting is pretty much like going to the store with your girlfriend. She goes to the store, picks out two things she likes, and then she asks you to choose between those two and gives you the illusion of choice. And that's what we've got. I think Trump will hold off the inevitable. I think he's actually cleaning up a lot of stuff because this year, especially since Epstein died and his girlfriend has been thrown in jail, there has been a lot of children found and rescued from traffickers. The timeline's interesting. I'm just saying, the timeline looks fucking interesting. So, yeah. So I think that, hey, Night Breeze, hugs. No one thinks the Bugaloos could be fun. Uh, the concept sounds fun, in a way. Being constantly worried if something's, some sniper's going to be poking out a window when you're walking down the street, or if one of your friends isn't so much your friend, that's going to be a lot to worry about. And it's not like getting deployed to the desert where, as long as you can last a little while, you can get sent back home for R&R. This is here. This is on our streets. This is in our neighborhoods. Could be our neighbors. That's a whole kind of different fight with no clear end in sight. No, the Buckley doesn't sound fun. A lot of times things that are necessary aren't fun. If you can find fun in it, then go for it, I guess. But I don't think it's going to be as fun as we thought it would, honestly. But anywho, so, sorry I don't have a more fun story to end this on, so I'll get back to the original screen thingy. There we go. And besides, look, you're probably one of the only ones that would probably find that fun. Like, you're kind of wild, but I'm glad you're at least on our team. I think you're kind of crazy. I wouldn't want to be against you. Well, anywho, wow, 15 people. Shit. Wow. A little surprised. Whoa. But we've been in this trouble for years. By the time the normies wake up, it'll be way too late. Arm yourselves before November 3rd. I'm too poor. I don't have money for a weapon. We have a couple machetes. I have a couple of badass knives, but I'm too poor for a weapon. Sucks. Yeah, like it's to the point where I'm like, why be able to buy half the cigarettes for the next 2 days? Like it's not good. Like we have electricity, we have food. We got like bare bones here. There's no extra accoutrement, no add-ons here, unfortunately. Somebody said they would try to send me a gun, but they weren't sure how to, and we just never got back in conversation with that. And I'm not even sure. I think it was a revolver, which, if things are going to be bad, revolver is good if you're getting mugged by one person. It's not good for much more than that. Something's better than nothing, don't get me wrong, but yeah. Oh, and if, I don't know, there's actually, I don't know if he's still in here or not. Hey, dog man, what's up? We've been in trouble for a few years. Yeah, it's been slow. Yeah, this stuff doesn't happen overnight. The blatancy does. The blatancy, one day they just pop up with an article like, yeah, we're going to basically control what you're allowed to share. Yes. But the lead up, the precedent, the times we didn't make enough noise when we should have, that took years to do. And it's a shame. I was hoping my parents were wrong. Ever since I was a kid, my dad warned me things like this would one day happen. It can happen anywhere when people allow it to. In the 80s and 90s, I'd listen, but I don't know. When you're a kid, it doesn't hit you the same. And then when you start to see the news, you're like, it's one of the only thing at the time I would say I'm glad my parents didn't live to see it. But damn, they were right. They've been warning me for over 30 years. So they'd at least recognize it when I saw it start to happen. My dad was lying, he wouldn't let them know. Where do you go? I think it was a speech by Reagan that said that we are the last best hope of man on earth. So if you don't stand and fight, there's nowhere really to go. So when people say, oh, well, if you don't like this country, get out, and go where? There isn't a whole lot of places much better than this, and we're not doing so good. Anyway. So that is the news today. Unless something really insane happens later, but it's a Wednesday, so I think everybody's going to be doing a lot of streaming tonight, so I probably am not going to try to even compete with that, unless, again, some news is like hella. But then, yeah, everybody will be talking about it anyway. But it was super awesome y'all coming by. Super surprised at 15 people. That's freaking awesome. I'm pretty excited about that. I, like other channels might not think that's impressive, but I'm super excited about that. Like, yeah, I love you all. Super glad y'all came to visit. And let's see, it's almost 4 o'clock here. Yeah, I think Sarah joined me for a bit about the news. Sure. All right, everybody, if you are interested. Oh, hey, Mongo. Glad to see. Aw. Hey, if you guys want to have more news discussion and more stuff going on, check out this. Oh, it jumped on me, but yes, you're welcome to check out Kai as well. But I was specifically meaning this, like memes of destruction. If you guys are not subscribed to him, by all means, go type it in. Y'all can, of course, welcome to mingle amongst yourselves and add each other. I encourage that as well. But for this particular conversation, if y'all want to look him up, go find him. I guess we'll be chatting about some new stuff and tournaments and whatnot. So if y'all want to check that out, that should be fun. I accept the invite. But yes, I'll leave that up for a second. Everybody has a nice clear view of that. All right, I guess you'll send me the invite on Twitter. I mean, not many other places to really send it. All right, hold on. Let me do something real quick, meme. All right, I have now made you a moderator for right now. Although, yeah, I guess keep it that way because I fired someone as a moderator last week. I'm not naming names, but somebody's apparently their drinking problem, I'm assuming, has gotten the better of them. And so one of my sleep streams, they decided to come into my stream and start dropping links from music videos in my chat. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, this is the power I have. And I'm like, what? So I fucking took his wrench because that was just like, what? I hadn't even talked to him in like 2 weeks and he pops up doing that. I'm like, what in the fuck, you know? So if you would like to drop your channel link into the chat, so it'll make it easier for people not to have to type it in. Because YouTube, it used to be so easy. You could just go over here, click on this, and go right to someone's channel. Nice and easy. Now they make you work for it. It's like, really? You know, some people are dyslexic. Some people have a hard time typing shit, you know? It's kind of not cool. Grabbing a cigarette. He may be grabbing a cigarette and not realize that I told him he could drop his link. So, meh. So I'll give everybody a second. Type it in, get it ready, all that. You realize what you're doing. You're stealing all the PewDiePie viewers. I highly, highly doubt that I'm stealing any of PewDiePie's viewers, and I'm quite certain that it's not even like the same genre. Like he does games and shit. I do not. Like it's not even the same neighborhood. Oh my god, I don't even know what to do with that many people. Holy shit. Oh, like I almost dread memes. You can drop your link to your channel in the chat, so that way make it easy. Everybody can just click right to it, make it nice and easy for everyone. Wait a minute, why is it not showing up that you're a moderator? I made you one. Add moderator. Okay, I did that a second ago and it said you weren't. Alright, try again. That was weird because I added you and unadded you, I guess. Write something else, meme. Write meow or whatever, I don't care. Hey! What's up, 82? How are you? Okay, we have an issue here. It's not showing me what I'm seeing here. Okay, it is. It's not letting me make you a moderator. Add moderator. It's not letting me make memes a moderator. I keep hitting add moderator on his name and it's not letting me do it. Are they limiting how many moderators you can have now all of a sudden? Yeah, it's not letting him be one. You know what? Let me turn off my green screen real quick. I mean, my green couch look is not the best, obviously, but y'all gotta see this shit. Like, I'm not fucking around. Alright. Where is it? There's, it's moving. Alright, so I click on memes. Well, typing, you can't see it, but it says add moderator. And it says it should be one. It says he's been added as a moderator to my channel. Let's try again. And how are you doing, Will, by the way? Sorry I didn't greet you properly. Because this will be the 4th time in a row I've added him as a moderator and it's not working. Finally, it finally worked. Y'all had all witnessed it for it to work. Now it finally worked. I did it 4 fucking times before and it didn't. So, can't see the screen's too bright. Yeah, I kind of realized that. But it works now. I guess y'all had to witness it. Boomers. What? YouTube or me? Because this was a YouTube problem. Yeah, there we go. So that's nice and simple. Everybody can just click on that. There we go. It worked that time. Yeah, it worked when everybody was watching. Do you ever have that? Like your computer, your phone's not working. You're like, hey, can you see if you can make this work? And as soon as they look at it, it fucking works. And you're like, that happens to me a lot. That's why I'm like, fucker. So, okay. So that, now, there. We got that sorted. Y'all just gonna have to, like, I'm gonna have to do stuff on here to make it work. So y'all can be like, you witnesses. I'm glad to see it. Well, we're gonna be going over to Memes channel and, wow, room temperature coffee. Oh, that's just lovely. Anyways, well, try again, Memes. That ain't the link people can click. Huh. You seem to be having some technical difficulties, it seems. I'm going to open my Twitter real quick. Let's see what she's talking about. Ooh, she got you like that special. Oh. I'll send her there. I'm 2 hours behind you. All right. Okay. I'll be at the And he has sent a link. Fabulous, fabulous. Anyways, there we go. All right, good. Anyway, my nose itchy as all hell. I don't think it's dusty in here. My nose just hates me. Anyway, so I will see you all in a little bit. Wow, still 15 people solid. Holy shit! Wow, it's really kind of special. Maybe we get all emotional. Ooh. Okay, all right. So, anyways, I'll give everybody a chance to better warm than shit hurtful. Huh? Got bigger than a ball, sorry. So I'll give everybody a chance to get over there before I just end this, and then they're like, "Pop, I didn't get the link." But all right. So, anyways, I love y'all. Mwah. I'll see y'all over at Memes channel in a bit if you like. Oh, hugs, Mongo. Lots of hugs to you. You are a doll. You all are. Mongo has been exceptionally awesome to me the last month or so. Your coffee. Thank you. Well, I know you meant my coffee. I was just trying to figure out like your wording. That was the part that was kind of confusing a little. But anyway, so I'll end it. I love y'all. I'll see you over at Memes channel here in a couple minutes because I need to heat up my coffee and whatnot and figure out a background, which I don't know, Ren and Cindy, I don't know. But hugs, bone.